Also in Frankfort, legislation to legalize sports betting in Kentucky is up for debate. The bill lawmakers are considering would allow the state to regulate sports wagering and profit from the taxes. Supporters of the bill say the revenue, which by one estimate would bring in at least $20 million a year, could help with the state's underfunded pensions. We take a look at the potential impacts of legalized sports betting in the things that count. In Kentucky, we have long placed bets legally on horse racing. And we've seen expanded gaming like pari-mutuel wagering still under the horse racing umbrella. Now lawmakers are considering expanding gaming further in the Commonwealth with the bill to legalize sports wagering. Horse racing tracks across the state are equipped to handle sports betting with infrastructure already in place.
Anytime you try something new.
Keeneland Vice President and Chief Operating Officer Vince Gabbert has worked with lawmakers on the bill.
We're excited about the prospects of it just because it's one of those forms of gambling that we feel is probably already going on for the most part on the illegal market, and there's no reason why the state shouldn't take advantage of those potential revenues on the legal side.
A U.S. Supreme Court ruling last spring gave the green light to sports gambling. Since then, 7 states, in addition to Nevada, have legalized sports gambling. More than 24 other states like Kentucky are considering some kind of legislation right now. New Jersey was the first state to legalize sports betting since last spring, and Gabbert says they have seen success.
From a volume and from a build-out standpoint, New Jersey has been phenomenal. It's far exceeded all of their expectations on revenue and growth.
But sports betting has its opposition.
We are against the bill. We think it's a wrongful expansion of gambling.
The Family Foundation Executive Director Kent Ostrander argues the bill gives the Horse Racing Commission too much leeway and the ability to expand gaming beyond just sports. He also thinks it's not the right way to generate more state revenue.
All the hundreds of millions of dollars they talk about comes from one place and one place only. That's moms and dads, and sure, a few single people who are one day going to be moms and dads. It all comes from the family. Corporations don't gamble, businesses don't gamble, et cetera, et cetera. The family gets targeted.
The horse racing industry largely sees expanded gaming as a good thing.
One, there are great opportunities, but there are also potential threats.
Alex Waldrop is president and CEO of the National Thoroughbred Racing Association, headquartered in Lexington. They spend a lot of time in D.C. working on legislative initiatives.
Primarily, what we want to see is well-regulated, legal sports betting. Available at horse racing facilities and other venues.
And venues like Keeneland, known for its charm and reputation, are careful to preserve what makes it so special.
First and foremost, anytime you come here, we want you to have a great experience, and that will not change with anything that we install or any new idea that we come up with.
Under the proposed bill, some of the revenue the state would generate from sports gambling would go towards setting up a program to help people with gambling addiction problems. Now, betting on Kentucky college teams, even if the game is outside of the state, would be prohibited. So far, a House committee has endorsed the bill.